Have you ever felt your life slipping away, one routine at a time? Not in a dramatic way, not like a car crash or a heart attack, but slowly, quietly, like sand draining from a cracked hourglass while you're too busy staring at the television. Have you ever thought, maybe I'm not dying because of age, maybe I'm dying because of habits I stopped questioning? I didn't ask myself those questions until it was too late. I'm 70 now, and the man I see in the mirror, he's not the man I thought I'd become. It all started with small choices, the kind that feel harmless, comfortable. Take evenings, for instance. My wife, Ellen, used to go for a stroll every night after dinner. "Walk with me," she'd smile, patting her side like she was calling a dog. I'd chuckle, crack open a beer, and sink into my recliner. "Tell me how the moon looks when you get back," I'd say. Habit number 1, sitting too much. It's not the sitting itself that destroys you, it's what it replaces. Walks, play, movement, spontaneity, all replaced by motionless watching. After years of sitting like a king in his sagging throne, I stood up one morning and my knees screamed like rusted hinges. I didn't rise, I unfolded. And the cruel part is, I thought rest was reward. Turns out, it was erosion. And at night, I chased exhaustion instead of rest. Habit number 2, skipping proper sleep. Screens, late night snacks, news cycles that fed anxiety like wood to fire. I treated sleep like it was optional, a luxury for those with less to do. But the fog rolled in slowly, first forgetting where I left my keys, then mixing up birthdays, then sitting in my car, engine running, trying to remember where I was going. The scariest moment? I called my daughter by my wife's name, and I saw her smile flicker, just for a second. I used to fear death. Now I fear forgetting my own life before it ends. Eating became another blind spot. Habit number 3, eating too fast. You ever eat a sandwich and realize you don't remember chewing it? I did that for decades. I'd be halfway through dinner before Ellen even unfolded her napkin. She once put her fork down and said, "Do you even taste what I made?" I laughed, shrugged, took another bite. But now, when I eat alone, I stare at the food and think, why didn't I savor this when I still had someone to cook for me? Turns out, when you rush meals, your body thinks it's being chased. That stress becomes biology. That biology becomes chronic disease. Every rushed meal was like stealing a minute from the end of my life. But I didn't tell anyone how I was feeling. Habit number 4, bottling up emotions. My generation believed silence was strength. So I swallowed grief like dry pills. When Ellen miscarried, I didn't cry, just rubbed her back and said, "It's God's plan." When my best friend died in a car accident, I delivered the eulogy, shook hands, and went home to scrub the sink. But pain doesn't dissolve. It ferments. One day, I snapped at my granddaughter for knocking over a glass of juice. She looked up, wide-eyed, and said, "Why are you so angry, Grandpa?" I didn't know, until 3 weeks later, when I collapsed while trimming the hedges. Heart attack, not massive, but enough to scare me. Doctors blamed stress. Turns out, the body knows what the mind refuses to admit. And yet, even then, I didn't change. Habit number 5, avoiding the doctor. I don't need a stranger poking around, I'd say. I skipped checkups, laughed off blood in my urine, Googled symptoms like I was smarter than 12 years of medical school. The tipping point? I started waking up with swollen ankles. Thought it was the heat. It wasn't. By the time I got tested, my kidneys were damaged. Not hopeless, but not reversible either. "You might have caught this 5 years ago," the doctor said. You know what 5 years means at my age? It means maybe I would have danced at my granddaughter's wedding. And then there were the drinks. Habit number 6, drinking your calories. I wasn't a drunk, but I was addicted. Sodas, sweet teas, creamy coffees, a 6-pack over a weekend, milkshakes on bad days, Gatorade after mowing the lawn even if I never broke a sweat. I told myself I deserved comfort, but I was flooding my body with sugar and calling it hydration. One afternoon, after a blood test, a nurse showed me a chart. My blood glucose levels looked like a roller coaster at Six Flags. "You're diabetic now," she said softly, like she didn't want to embarrass me. I wasn't embarrassed. I was furious with myself, because I remembered my grandfather, legs amputated, blind in one eye, and I still drank that root beer the next day. Comfort isn't worth your toes, but I stayed busy, right? Habit number 7, multitasking constantly. I prided myself on it. Laptop open, television on, phone in hand, lunch in lap. My daughter once called and said, "Dad, are you even listening?" I said, "Of course." She said, "Then what did I just say?" Silence. You can't be present in a life you're only half living. I tried to read a book once, just a novel. I read the same paragraph 6 times. My brain was fried not from age, but from fragmentation. I didn't lose my attention span. I traded it for the illusion of productivity. But nothing I lost stung like the friendships I let wither. Habit number 8, neglecting friendships. Charlie left me 14 voicemails over 3 years. I responded to one. Carlos sent me a postcard from Florida. I meant to call him back. That card is still pinned to the fridge, faded by time and guilt. Reggie showed up at my door once, ribs in foil, smile full of memories. I told him I was busy cleaning gutters. He stood there, silent, then nodded and walked away. He died of pancreatic cancer 8 months later. I didn't even know he was sick. We always think we have time for people, but time has a terrible sense of humor. And so, I stayed indoors. Safer, quieter, smaller. Habit number 9, living indoors. The backyard grew wild. The grass got tall enough to hide my regrets. The curtains stayed closed. I used to sit outside and trace cloud animals with Ellen. Now, I checked the weather on my phone and told myself, tomorrow I'll go out. Tomorrow never came. One day, I finally stepped out barefoot and the ground felt unfamiliar. Cold, sharp, like the earth didn't recognize me anymore. And yet, every time someone asked, "You doing okay?" I lied. Habit number 10, saying, "I'm fine," when I'm not. It became a reflex, like coughing to hide tears. I was falling apart spiritually, emotionally, physically, but I said fine, because vulnerability felt like weakness. The last time my daughter hugged me, she held on just a little longer than usual. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. She knew. And now we come to the part I never wanted to write. 2 weeks ago, I went in for some stomach pain. I thought it was indigestion. The doctor didn't look up from the chart when she spoke. "Jerry, we found a mass. Pancreatic. Stage 4. I didn't ask for details. I saw them in her eyes. "You don't recover from this. Not at my age. So why write all this? Why spill it now? Because I can't go back and undo my habits. But you can. If you're reading this, if you're still able to walk without pain, sleep without pills, laugh without wincing, you have time. Please don't waste it like I did. Don't wait until your granddaughter looks at you like a stranger. Don't wait until you're eating alone in silence, wishing you could remember the taste of your wife's spaghetti. Don't wait until the doctor sighs before they speak. Move. Call someone. Feel the sun on your neck. Say what you mean. Because if you're lucky, you still get to choose how your story ends. I thought I had more time. Don't make my mistake.